Very good evening to all of you. Yesterday, we have completed Settle's speech. All of you went through the story. That story, I have made two videos, and both the videos are uploaded. Those who have already subscribed to the YouTube channel, you might have got the notifications. Otherwise, also I have sent it through WhatsApp, our class WhatsApp group that I have sent it. Then once in a while I will send it through your school app too. So wherever it is possible that you can use it from there, and once more you can watch it. Really, that was not a story. It was really it is the speech of a tribal leader. So it was not you to understand it. The less a story, it has the nature of an essay. So it would not be very easy for you to read. So make points as I have follow it and remember. After completing the you have to do two things. One is do your notebook and make a summary of your own. The that is not your own summary. If you make your own summary, what all idea you know, what all idea you want, you should understand, and what you may, it will be easy for you. Remember, not so. Today we are going to start another story. The story, third story, a horse and two boys. It's a long story, but actually it is easy to understand. A horse and two god, R.K. Narayan, from the name, and he is a South Indian. He belongs to Tamil Nadu. Naturally, his story, the story taken place in the story South Indian. One of the South Indian village is the major background of the story. R.K. Narayan was born in Chennai, India. Indian family. He transferred from one schools to another many times. Narayan spent most of his childhood in the living care of his grandmother because of the frequent transfer. Narayan was not able to study in one school, so he was taken care of by his grandmother so that he would be able to continue his studies in one school. And her name was Parvati. It was his grandmother who taught him arithmetic. mythology, and Sanskrit. These three subjects taught by his grandmother. He also attended many different schools in Chennai, like Lutheran Mission School, Christian College, High School, etc. He was interested in English literature since he was very young. His reading habit further developed when he moved to Mysore. Mysore is one of the tourist place in South India, and it is in Tamil Nadu and very close to Chennai. He was interested in English literature since he was very young. His reading habit further developed when he moved to Mysore with his family, and there his father's school library offered him games of writing from authors like Dickens, Thomas Henry, like that various English writers became his favorite writers, and he tried to find books one after other from the same authors. Naturally, he had developed a good spirit in literature and reading, writing, and other literature related activities he involved. After getting married in 1933, Narayan became a reporter for a newspaper called The Justice, and in the meantime, he sent the manuscript of Swami and Friends to his friend at Oxford, who in turn showed it to Graham Greene. Greene got the book published. His first handwritten book, he sent it to Oxford, and the expert in Oxford received it and accepted it and published it. His second novel, The Bachelors of Arts, was published in 1937. It was based on the experience at college. His own college experience included in that novel. Like that, R.K. Narayan became a famous English writer from India. So one of his major writing, Malgudi Days, that means Malgudi Indian village culture, and especially South Indian village culture is described there, and these or most of his stories included there, R.K. Narayan stories there. One of the story from that category, Malgudi Days, is A Horse and Two Goats. Here, today we are going to see the story A Horse and Two Goats. The major characters of this story, Muni, an old South Indian poor man, his wife, name is not given there, but Muni's wife. They are the major two characters. Then a third character is an Englishman. He came from America as a tourist to visit India. Then two animal characters means two gods. They are also involved in the story. Next one is a non-living thing, that is a statue of a horse statue. Not only a single statue, it is a combination of two statues, a full-size horse statue and the statue of a rider. These are the major components in the story. As I have already told, Muni and his wife were the only two people in his house. Only a reference of a child was there in between the story, but the child is not the character there, just a reference there. Whether it is true or not, that we are not aware of. But in that story, there is no involvement of such a character there. Then some more characters, some villages, and a village shop, a village temple, village headman, a shopkeeper, like that. So many other minor characters are also there in the story. As I have already told you, Muni was a very poor man. Once he was rich, he had 40 goats in his cattle shed. That time he was considering himself as a rich man, but misfortune made him poor. Some of the animals he sold to meet his essential needs, to buy food as well as other essential things. Some of the animals he sold. Some of the animals were stolen, and some of the village thieves stolen the animals. Some other animals died because of some diseases. Other group of animals were killed by wild animals from the nearby forest. After all, only two goats left. All the other animals, one or other way, missed from him. Sold, killed by animals, died because of diseases, stolen by thieves, like that, many animals lost from his hand. Now he considered himself as a very poor man because he has only two gods. His daily routine to take these animals towards the nearby highway. This is an open place there. Through the highway, many vehicles are passing through. He wanted to watch them because he is very much excited to watch the vehicles through the highway. And secondly, the highway road is at the center of the occupied area, and both the side of the road, barren land, empty land, totally filled with grass. And these two gods can have its grass. They can eat grass there. So Muni considered that it is the most convenient place for him to take rest and allow the animals to eat grass. So he often visited the highway side and stayed there from morning to evening. Till evening, the two gods filled their stomach and take the two gods back home. Till that time, his wife had the habit of visiting other rich families and do household work there and get some earning. With that money, she bought some vegetables and other food grains to prepare food. Like that, their poor life went on. The place where Muni left his animals were really a village earlier. Large number of huts, small houses were there once upon a time. But maybe because of some calamity, natural calamities, or because of the government order, that village shifted from that place to another place. At the center of the village, there was a statue. It was a statue of a horse and its rider. But now only the statue and the rider statue left there. All the houses shifted from there, removed from there. Then all the area now become empty, barren land. So that statue was the only attractive object there, but for Muni it was not an attractive one because from his childhood he watched the statue and it was not a surprising thing for him because often he was watching and he used that statue the base of the statue to sit on because the statue was very big in size, life size, at the equal the size of a normal horse. The statue also equally well. So he thought that it was the best place for him to sit under the statue because there was the proper shade from the sunlight. He got it. So he sat under the statue and looked at the main road. Sometimes some vehicles pass through the road and he was very happy to look at it. One day, Muni's wife told Muni that no food grain or eatable at home to prepare food. He has to go to the shop and buy some eatables, the stuff for preparing food, so that she may be able to prepare tasty food. Muni went to the village shop to buy something. When he reached there, the village shopkeeper and some villagers were together talking and discussing some serious subject. It was none other than about a murder case. They told that somebody's dead body found at the boundary of the village, and the police visited the place and they started the inquiry whose dead body and who killed the person, and what is the secret behind it, all the matters. Police started inquiry. Some of the villagers also were questioned, and nobody knows really what happened. These all discussions were going on. When he reached there, he had no confidence to ask the shopkeeper to provide him things because he did not have money to provide. He wanted to borrow things. And he wanted to give excuse for some days. After some days only he planned to give money. At the same time, he had already borrowed so many things and did not pay a single penny for the last few months. So he was afraid of the shopkeeper. So he stood aside and made some sound to attract his attention towards him. Within that time, the shopkeeper looked at the old man Muni and asked him what he wanted. Then he told the shopkeeper that he wanted to have uh, some stuff for making food, means atta, maida, some other good food grains, dal, like that. So many, the list of a thing he has given. First of all, he started packing it. Within that time, he remembered, the shopkeeper remembered that Muni had not paid the previous amount. He asked about it. Immediately, Muni told that within a month he will pay all the previous and present amount. Then shopkeeper asked, "How can you get the money? What will be your income?" Then he referred that his son will send him money next month. From that money, he will be able to pay the amount. Then some other shopkeepers asked him why his son is going to send money. What is the reason behind it? Then Moni told that next month he is going to celebrate his birthday, and on his birthday his son will send some money. Then they asked what is his age. He is not really aware of his age. He told that he is more than 50 years old. He calculated it on the basis of a famine. There was a serious famine 50 years back. That year he born. So he knew that his age is 50 years. But the funny comment is that many famine taken place after 5-10 years. Often there would be famine, heavy rainfall, flood like that, calamities taken place. That would not be the proper calculation for somebody's age. It shows the poor condition of the illiterate people. They are not able to calculate years, age, etc. Anyway, they made fun that he looks more than 70 years old and he says that he is only 50. So like that they made fun of him. The shopkeeper very arrogantly told that he is not ready to give anything or credit. He has to pay the previous amount, then only he may be ready to provide anything more. So he was totally insulted before all the people. So uh, he went back home. Then his wife asked him, "Have you brought anything to prepare food?" He says that he started abusing the shopkeeper and told that the shopkeeper is not ready to provide him anything because he wants to get the previous amount that money was not able to pay. Then his wife told that she had collected some drumsticks from the nearby drumstick tree, and it is a type of vegetable in South India. In North India also it is available, but mostly South Indian people used drumstick as a vegetable, and she told that she will put it in hot water and mix it with some salt and prepare it as a food. It will be as equal to the soup. It would be made. Moni did not say anything. He did not have any proper reply about it because he is helpless to provide any other foodstuff to prepare food. So he listened to it. The next day, as usual, he unlashed the two gods and took the parcel food, which consists of some upama and a piece of onion, both packed and handed over to Mani, and Mani carried it to the same place where he spent his whole day. As usual, he reached near the statue and set both the animals set free, and they started eating grass from here and there. It was mostly the area covered by dust because it was summer season. It was very difficult for the animals to find green grass there. Still, they were trying to find it. During that time, two vehicles passed through. Many was sitting under the statue, under the shade of the statue. After some time, he felt hungry and he took the parcel food and had it. Again, he continued sitting there till that time. A vehicle came through the highway, and just before him, the vehicle stopped. From the driver's seat, a young man came out. He was wearing khaki trousers and shirt, and the same colored cap was on his head. When he came out, he made a round around the vehicle and he opened the bonnet of the vehicle. Then he came to know that the vehicle had not enough fuel, so he wanted to get fuel. He looked all around. Then he found out Muni there. Till that time, Muni was also watching him. Muni thought that the person who arrived by the vehicle over there was a police officer because khaki dress and same colored cap, and he was talking in English. So he believed that he's a police officer. Then the stranger called Muni and asked him whether there is a filling station nearby. But Muni was not able to understand English, even he was illiterate. His local language only he knew. So he thought that he was asking something related to the masterpiece. He was really afraid of, and he simply turned back and started walking opposite direction of the stranger. But the stranger stepped down from the road and came near to the statue. When he started walking fast, Muni came to know that he was not able to run. If he ran, the police officer will catch him. If he is not able to catch, he may use his rifle and shoot at him. Anyway, Muni will not be able to save himself. It was sure for him. So he did not try to run away from there. He just murmured to himself and stood there. Till that time, the stranger came nearby the statue and he expressed his surprise how wonderful the statue is. Then came in front of the old man, in front of Muni, and wished him. Immediately, Muni thought that the stranger, the policeman, is going to arrest him. Before that, he told that I am innocent, my name is Muni, and these gods are my own, and I am a very innocent person in the village. All the villagers know about it, but here so many criminals and antisocial elements are there in nearby the villages. But my village, nobody is criminal minded. But nearby villages are not good, and there some of such a person might have done the wrong deed. So I don't know all the details of the incident, all the details of the murder case, but he is ready to help the police officer to find the actual murderer, killer. If he is found in the village, when he is ready to help the police officer like that, all the support he offered. But the Englishman was not able to understand anything because really the person who was talking English, the stranger who came by the vehicle, was a tourist. He was from America. He wanted to visit India, and during his visit, he passed through that village. That time, the vehicle stopped because of the lack of proper amount of fuel there. So the foreigner, the tourist, wanted to ask Muni about filling station, and he wanted to get help from him. But Muni was unaware of it because he did not know English. Even he was illiterate. He thought that he was going to be arrested by the police officer, and the khaki dress, symbolizes police department. So he really believed that he is a police officer. When he asked some question, Muni thought that he had been asked about the murder case, about the killer, and whether he had done it, whether Muni had done it or not. Like that question he himself imagined. According to his imagination, he had given all the answers. Both of them did not understand what the other person told. As the Englishman was in a trouble, he stood there and picked a small box full of cigarette because he had the habit of smoking. When he was ready to smoke, as he was a foreigner and an Englishman, they had some etiquettes and politeness. Before taking a smoke, he offered a cigarette to Muni. Muni was waiting for such a chance for a long period of time. As he had not enough money to have food 2 or 3 times in a day, he was not able to think about a cigarette to smoke. But once during his young age, very many years ago, he smoked. That time he felt that smoking was very nice habit. He wanted to continue it, but his income and circumstances made him to stop such a habit. Now, freely he was going to get a cigarette. He was very much excited and he picked one from there. But he did not know how to fire it because there was no matchbox there. But the Englishman had a lighter and he put on the lighter and offered him fire to burn it. But Muni did not understand what it is because for the first time he had seen such a lighter. He immediately blew air on it and the light went off. Then the Englishman understood that he is confused. Muni is confused. So Muni was offered once again the same light. He opened the lighter and pressed it and offered a light. Second time he understood it. He burned the cigarette and took a deep breath. The smoke entered into his lungs and it was unbearable for him. He had some breathing trouble and started coughing. For a long period of time he coughed. But he was not ready to leave it because it was the offer he had received after a very long time. He was very interested to continue smoking. But after a long time, made him cough. After receiving this cigarette, he started thinking another way. A police officer never offer a cigarette to the client nearby him. He would be very strict. So Muni thought that the man may not be a police officer. Still, he was not able to believe that he was not a police officer because his dress clearly showed that he is really a police officer. So, like that, in a very confusing situation, Muni was in, and they started talking to each other some other subject matters. Till there, once you read it, some of the part of the story already completed. First 3 pages. All of you should read it. Start doing the workbook. First extract. You can do it. After completing the story, you have to start writing the summary. I hope that the completed part of the story is clear to you. And tomorrow we may continue it.